and this is Office of Pandemonium, Alberto Fujimori's Abandonment of Morals amid the Shining Path era. Nunca más! Nunca más! Nunca más! Fujimori! I see you sitting there, watching, wondering what I'm doing in this crowd of people protesting the ex-president Alberto Fujimori. Well, it may not be the 90s, and Fujimori isn't in office anymore, but his obsession with control over Peru still impacts each and every one of us every day. Now look, I am grateful for Fujimori. He saved Peru, and he brought the hammer down upon the Shining Path. They were a group of communist terrorists who killed thousands and drew inspiration from the likes of Pol Pot and Mao. But his methods were barbaric. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison for a reason. And now, President Kuczynski wants to pardon him. And his daughter Kiko was almost elected president. I mean, come on! What are people thinking these days? It's 2017, for God's sake. Has anyone ever heard of human rights abuses? It's complete lunacy to believe that Fujimori wasn't corrupt, despite his claims of serving the greater good. And that's why I'm out here protesting and trying to remind people of his destructive deeds. If you need proof, just look at his actions, like when in 1992, he staged a self-coup. Fujimori speaking. Yes. Yes, inform the press that I will not be holding any meetings until this is resolved. Yes. Very well. Call me when you get an update. Thank you. I swear, the stress of this job is taking a toll on my health. But I guess that's what I signed up for when I became the president of Peru. Although I must admit, my recent policies have created what can only be called a political maelstrom, which is expected when you shut down the Congress of the Republic. I got on television broadcast and announced that the Congress would be temporarily shut down and the judicial branch reorganized. Exhausting business. And I had this whole hassle with the senators. They were trying to hold a session to bar my actions. But before this, our government was so gridlocked that we couldn't make any progress on the Shining Path or any of Peru's numerous economic problems. And of course, my opposition will whine and whine about it being undemocratic, but you need to step on a couple toes in order to solve a problem. Would they rather that the communist terrorists take over and enforce their bloody will, or that I modify the government to prevent disaster? Believe me, this was not an easy decision. I struggled with this. In my soul, I believe in democratic values, but I know that I need to sacrifice some of them in order to save my country. I can't make everyone happy. It's my burden as a leader. Can you believe him? How he acted like some sort of martyr for Peru? The real martyrs are the people who suffered because of his institutions. I mean, have you heard the horror stories? Like, I was reading this one news article about a woman who was mistreated by Fujimori's justice system. Check it out. Hello, readers. I remember the day that I was arrested. And I remember how things transpired too fast for me to comprehend. A former colleague of mine had been involved with the Shining Path and had once asked me to join. But of course I refused. I wanted no part in that disgusting group. But I was too scared to turn him in. Weeks later, my colleague was arrested. And in Peru, there's a series of laws, the Repentant Terrorist Acts, in which captured terrorists could exchange names, information for a lighter sentence. The serpent stated that I was involved with the Shining Path. Me, a mother of two beautiful children. I was accused of treason before the faceless judges, whose identities I did not know under Fujimori's system. I was psychologically and physically abused in an effort to get me to confess to acts that I did not commit. I was denied my right to due process and to defense. to know that there are thousands of others like me who did not get the chance to defend their innocence. Her story is what propelled me to protest. How could Fujimori claim that the faceless judges system was in place to protect and provide security for the judges when lawful people were being shut away? It put the judges on the same level as the terrorists who acted in secret. And like the Shining Path terrorists, Fujimori's goons also slaughtered innocent people. On the other side of my sign, I have a reminder of the Barrios Altos massacre of November 1991, in which members of the governmental Kalina Death Squad infiltrated a fundraising barbecue of suspected Shining Path members and massacred 16 innocent people, including a young child running to the corpse of his father. That was sanctioned all by Fujimori, and he didn't get in trouble for it until his recent trial. As president, his duty is to protect and serve his people, not kill them. His actions inflicted so much suffering upon his people, and unfortunately, Barrios Altos is only one of many examples. Fujimori abandoned his morals and his duty as president in a manic fixation on ending the guerrilla war against the Shining Path. This obsession was revealed to Peru in its greatest political scandal ever. Good evening. This is Beatriz Wanapaco reporting for Channel 23 News. Today we have a shocking scandal involving President Alberto Fujimori. A collection of videos incriminating Fujimori has been released to the public. The videos, now nicknamed Los Vladi Videos, contain footage of top Fujimori advisor, Vladimiro Montesinos, participating in bribery and coercion on behalf of Fujimori. The initial leak shows Montesinos paying Congressman Alberto Corey, a man who has loudly voiced his opposition to Fujimori in the past, $15,000 for his vote in Congress. This appalling evidence of corruption has many citizens calling for Fujimori's removal from office. Additional leaks show Channel 2 executives receiving $500,000 in exchange for restricting criticism of Fujimori on their channel. This scandal and blatant manipulation of the press only goes to show the insane measures that Fujimori has gone to retain power during his presidency. We will keep you updated as events unfold. This is Beatriz Wanapaco. When the press found out about this, they had a field day. They tore Fujimori apart, and rightly so. His presidency would end soon after, but the effects of it will remain for many years to come. Fujimori set precedent by being the first Latin American ruler ever to be put on trial for crimes committed during their presidency. And because of Fujimori, the Shining Path is now but a terrifying memory for most, but the damage that he inflicted upon the hearts and souls of his people will remain in infamy in Peruvian history forever. Fujimori deserted his integrity and left his duty as president in the dirt in order to pursue his own political agenda, and his people suffered. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a march to get back to. Nunca más! Nunca más!